gave it to me for Christmas 2 years ago. He came like the day before Christmas, so he's in my bedside table. I took him to England once and left him. So I know, right? So there was a big panic. So somebody made me a Mr. Fizzles. So I'll do Mr. Fizzles' voice for you, though. Okay, here we go. Mr. Fizzles can tell when you're alive. I won't crazy. Mr. Fizzles is available for pictures and autographs.
From 2 cities, 4 cities, Dublin and Mara.
Exactly.
You go to Mara and it carries a pop it around.
Since he's in my sock drawer, which is right next to my bed, you would be surprised at how many people have come over and found it and creeped out. There's not a lot of people that I know like Supernatural. Not a lot of people that I invite back into that environment know that show either. So, yeah. My buddy actually was the first guy to find it, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, dude, why do you have a..." And I was like, "You should put this away because this is really creepy." You don't know.
DJ, hi. Two questions for you. One, what's like the best part of working on Legit? Because it has to be quite possibly the funniest show out there at the moment. And then, can I have the second one first? And then, the Ghostbusters, I see are looking for a new partner. What's the odds of Garth getting a go?
I'll answer the second part first. Actually, Travis and AJ have reached out to me about doing something with them, and I want to as soon as schedules permit. Also, we're pushing for season 10 of Supernatural to do something together. Either me and the Ghost Chasers or me and Jody Mills, Kim. I would really love to work with Ty, because Ty's actually my closest friend. You know, Ty, he plays Benny. Ty Olsen, he's actually my closest friend from the show. Ty's actually moving in with me. He lives in Vancouver, he's moving in with me in LA. We actually can no longer be booked at the same domestic conventions because we have a bad reputation. So I'm curious to see what happens when he moves in with me. What was the first part of your question? Oh yeah. I love working on Legit, but that's another show that I turned down because they showed me Jim Jeffries' comedy, and I had to be fully naked, full frontal naked in front of him in the pilot. And I said, no way, this guy's a dick. I'm not going to be naked in front of him. And then he took me to dinner. I literally turned it down 5 different times. And he took me to, and also, I'm in a wheelchair and I can't move anything but like 2 fingers, so that's hard. And I was a little nervous about that. But he took me to dinner, and Jim at the time had a homeless guy he met a few days before living on his couch. He has the biggest heart. And I loved him. Unfortunately, Legit got canceled last week. Because of lack of viewership. And it's the thing that I actually cried when it happened, because it's the thing that I'm most attached to that I've ever done. I love going there every week. The New York Times wrote a really great article calling me one of the 4 best actors on television like a month before it was canceled. Which is, you don't get that when you do road trip and have sex with 300-pound people. You don't really get a lot of critical acclaim for that. So critical acclaim was like a new thing for me. And it's really addictive and it feels great, and also I just love going there every day. So I was really bummed and I cried, and then 20 minutes later, Sci-Fi Channel called and offered me a new zombie show. So I'm going to be fighting zombies when I go back to America. So hopefully we'll be able to steal that one and illegally download it as soon as it comes out. Which I'm a big fan of. If you can't get it through TV, steal it. So many people stole Legit and didn't get it that we got the act, so it's part of it. Every actor has a story about that one job that went away that broke their heart, and that's mine.
Could you guys do your best impressions of Dean and Sam?
Of who?
Dean and Sam.
I don't know what you're saying.
Dean and Sam.
Dean and Sam? Oh, I have a story about that. I have a good story about that. You go first.
I only have my Dean.
You actually sound like him, kind of, when you talk.
Do I?
Yeah.
Well, I have the one. It's been a while.
Sammy!
Sammy! That's my Dean.
I have a story about the way they talk, though. So, like I said, I'd only seen snippets of the show, and then I went on, and I heard they're notorious pranksters, right? And Jared had already pranked me before I worked. And so, like, there were some condoms and things in my dressing room and all that stuff. And so, And so I heard they were recording pranksters. My first scene was with both of them, and they started, and it was a pretty emotional scene. It was like they were having a conflict and was having to break it up, and they started talking like that. And I thought they were messing with me. I was like, this can't be the way you act. Kind of terrible. And so I went to the director and I was like, are they messing with me? And he said, no, dude, this is actually the show. And I realized after being in the show that contextually it works. But when you clip that out like that, it sounds stupid. I mean, that's why you really talk. I've never adjusted my vocal quality before to play somebody, so I guess people do that. Maybe it makes you a good actor and I have no idea. But I thought they were terrible when I first met them. And I've also told them this to their face, so it's just no secret. But they do things like, they mess with me all the time. Like, my first episode, Jared took me to lunch and got me wasted. And then we go back, and I'm like, well, clearly it's okay to get wasted, he's the lead actor. So we get pretty drunk, and I have a scene with a lot of dialogue where, so this is my second episode. It was the monster you could only see when you were drunk, the shoujo. And so, I had the scene where I find the shoujo, it's pretty physical. I have to jerk this guy around, and we're running, and she throws me through a glass wall. And I am loaded. And Jared was done for the day. He went home. And that kind of stuff he does to me all the time. I don't feel so bad saying I thought they were terrible actors. Because it doesn't look like good acting in person.
Question today. You're not going to get any questions. In the